Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. Just wiring up a trailer. I've never done a car trailer before. Well, actually I lied. I did our bug out trailer over there, so I guess I lied. Anyways, just wanted to show you guys what you can do on a trailer. So no, I ripped out all the old lights. I mean the old wires, and I rewired the whole entire trailer. Anyways, I'll show you guys. There was obviously you don't have to hook the trailer up to your truck in order for it to test the lights. So obviously just plug it in. On my truck here, there's 2500. There's two different light options on the wire whip. So anyways, what I did was I extended the wires because the guy that did it, he just had a bunch of leftover new parts from a job or whatever, so he asked me if I'd wire it up for him. So what I would recommend, well, what I did was go up underneath here. I'll show you. I wired every light individually. There's a lot of guys or a lot of people, they'll just run one strand of wires and then they'll just cut into it, and that's not, I don't think it's a good idea personally. So I ran everything individually all the way to the front, and I'll tell you the reason for that. So when I cut the old wire out, there was basically 4 wires that went to the rear of the trailer, or kind of like to the center and to the rear, and then they just kind of tapped in. So all your connections, all your splice connections are underneath your trailer. I mean, when that stuff gets corroded, and none of it was taped. I don't know if I have some of the old stuff, but it's down in there. Anyways, all they had was like this right here. This was the old plug. But anyways, they had stuff like this that wasn't even taped. So these butt connectors, they'll get corroded over time. So what I did is I ran everything to the front here, right by the tongue. And I did my splice right here. So you can see all my wires are individual here. So I ran the 2 front ambers, one there, one on the passenger side, 2 rear lights, and then the center light, and then the license plate light. So the guy didn't have the brackets, so I had to fabricate something. So I was able to get kind of lucky. There were these grooves in the back of the lights. So anyways, I was able to silicone some bolts in there, and I used carriage bolts actually. And there was 2 little slits in there that the round part of the carriage bolt slid right into, and I was able to silicone it in place. So it worked out well. But anyways, what I would recommend when you guys, so I used obviously I use a shit ton of zip ties to make everything look really nice. You want to give yourself enough service, basically means enough wire here at any one of your splice connections. So if, say for instance, and the reason why I ran everything individually, you can see all the separate wires, is if I'm rolling down the road and that light is out, I know that it's just, I won't have two or three of my other lights go out because it's a bad wire. So if that one goes out, I know I can just go right here, clip my zip ties, undo my electrical tape, and then I can find that wire and find out if it's a bad connection, either there or there. So there's only 2 connections. I got one there and I got one there. I got one there that goes to there. That rear one goes to there. That other one goes to there. So that's the best way to do it. These guys that basically run one line straight down the trailer and then they tap in all the lights on one line. I used to do security for a long time ago when I got out of the military, and we home ran everything to the panels. So I kind of adopted that, and anytime I do any kind of wiring, I bring everything to a main connection point or a splice point. So basically the only thing that can really go bad is this point or at one of the lights, like I said. So that's the way I recommend you guys do it. And then what I also do is I take Vaseline, that's what she said. I take Vaseline, and on my butt connectors I shove, after I put the wire in there and I crimp it, I shove Vaseline down in there. And then I basically do the Vaseline at both ends. That's what she said. I'll pack a bunch of Vaseline in here, and then where my wire goes on this side, I'll pack a bunch of Vaseline, and then I always, I know you're not supposed to say always or never, but I always wrap all my connections. And if you go up underneath here, you will see there's electrical tape there, and at every one of my splice points there's tape everywhere. So I do that after I do the butt connection. Then I go ahead and I put the Vaseline in both ends, and then I still electrical tape the heck out of it. Like I said, on every one of them. So, and then on these type of lights here, you just basically need a positive, and you can ground it with the negative right to your frame. So, but I always run 2 wires, and this is just basic stranded security wire that I use. It's indoor outdoor, so it doesn't really matter, and it's a proper gauge. So I just had a bunch of it left over. Anyways, that's pretty much everything that you got to do. Hey, Mr. Clyde, I made up a bed for Mr. Clyde. Hi, how are you? We're going to clean up and we're going to get out of the shop, and we are going to go home and eat some dinner. Such a good boy, huh? Say hi to everybody. Anyways, me and Mr. Clyde are going to say goodbye, and like I said, I just wanted to let you guys know, anytime you wire a trailer, home run everything to the tongue. So from that light to the front, from that light to the front, from that light to the front, and so on and so on. You do go through more wire and more connectors. Well, actually not really any more connectors, but everything just, it looks nicer. You don't have, if you do have a problem, you don't have to get up underneath the trailer and do any splicing, you know, in the wet or the winter or anything like that. So all your connections are pretty much super tight and super sealed. So, and that's it. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick tutorial, I guess, on how to wire a trailer. And I hope the video found you well or finds you well. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.